going on, Falcons fans? Logan here. Welcome back to Rise Up Rundown. And if you're new here, welcome. So, what an incredible draft that the Atlanta Falcons just had. But you know what's even more incredible is the fact that you guys sent in some mailbag questions for me, and we're about to go answer them. Now, this was actually the least amount of mailbag questions that I've received in a little while. And honestly, I kind of don't really blame anyone, because I think just like me and everyone watching this, we were literally all just focused on the NFL draft this week more than anything. And I do realize that there's going to be a lot of NFL draft questions coming in that we're about to go over. But I do want to point out that I'm probably not going to go into depth on these NFL draft questions as much as I should, only because I'm trying to save my overall thoughts and grades on each draft pick for, this Tuesday's video, going over my overall review of the Atlanta Falcons 2023 draft. And I'll have that whole entire video going over how I truly feel about it. But I'll also give you guys a bit of a sneak peek as to how I feel about each pick. But anyway, enough talking. Let's get straight into it. Mark Jones asked, do you believe that the Falcons solved their defensive woes through free agency? I don't want to say that they solved it necessarily, but I think that they had a bigger upgrade than anyone was expecting. Like Calais Campbell and David Onyemata bringing in Ryan Nielsen and Lorenzo Carter coming back. That was definitely a big improvement for our pass rush. But I'm also not going to act like they fixed it necessarily. The Falcons still did not go defense in the first round. I know Tyree Wilson was gone, but you had Jalen Carter to draft. Now, I will say that Jalen Carter, I think, is a player that, he has to land on the perfect team to try and develop him, up here. Again, I try to say all of the whole, off-field stuff with Jalen Carter a little, lightly, because I'm not going to act like I know him personally. Maybe, he actually is mentally stable. It's just, it was just, one big mistake. I'm not justifying his mistake. I'm simply just saying I'm trying to make it known that, okay, everyone is saying he has off-field concerns, but was it just one story that makes it look like he's this terrible person? Or is he actually someone that has a lot of off-field stuff that we don't know about, and he actually is needing a lot of mental help? I'm not really sure if I'm making any sense, but point is, I think he is a player that needed to go to the right team, even though I do kind of think the Falcons would have been a good fit for him. I mean, he's got Calais Campbell and some veterans to help coach him up mentally and physically. But anyway, that was, I got a little off topic there. And then, we got Jesse Bates at safety. Definitely improved safety, but we do have to see if Richie Grant can step up. We got in Jeff Okudah. I don't want to say that we solved our corner 2 problem, but, if he lives up to the hype, then sure. So I don't want to say that we solved our defensive woes, but we fixed them and upgraded them. But we'll have to see, we'll have to see in 2023 if this defense truly did get 100% fixed. Terry Turner asked, do you think the Falcons are going to move Cordero Patterson to the second wide receiver slot after drafting Bijan Robinson? #RiseUp. Yeah, I'm not really sure what, because that's definitely, no one really thought about that when Bijan was drafted, and even before he got drafted. No one was thinking what's going to happen with Tyler Algier and Cordero Patterson. This seems to be kind of an unpopular take that I said, and a lot of people seem to disagree with it, and that's fine. But in my reaction video to Bijan getting drafted, I said that I think Tyler's probably going to get the start at running back, only because he had a 1,000-yard season as a rookie last year. And I don't know, don't you think it's at least a little disrespectful that they're making a 1,000-yard rookie not start? I don't know, I think that's a little disrespectful to Tyler Algier, but Cordero Patterson, I don't know, maybe they'll move him to receiver. I can only imagine this is probably his last year or so. I definitely don't think he's going to be here for much longer. I mean, if Bijan Robinson gets the start at running back, I'm not going to be shocked or surprised. I'm just kind of like, man, the disrespect to Tyler Algier is all I'm really going to say. And I also can't say, well, Bijan deserves it. Like, does he really, though? I mean, he hasn't really even played in the NFL, so I don't know. Like, I just kind of feel like it's at least a little disrespectful to Tyler Algier, but I don't know. So what are they going to do with Cordarrelle Patterson? I can only imagine they're going to move him to wide receiver because they know Tyler Algier is probably the better back than Cordarrelle Patterson. And Bijan Robinson, I know he didn't play yet, but they drafted him thinking that he probably was going to be a better back than Cordarrelle Patterson. But they also don't want to disrespect him and just not have a veteran play that did good things for us. So are they going to move him to wide receiver? I mean, at this point, I don't see why they wouldn't. I don't see how Cordarrelle Patterson is going to get the start at running back at this point, only because Bijan Robinson was a first-round pick. And I can only imagine they drafted him because they want him to start over Cordarrelle Patterson, and Tyler Algier is just already the better back. So I guess I can only imagine they will, but we'll see. That's definitely something that the Falcons need to figure out. Archangel asked, have you ever thought about having another co-host like on Out of Your Falcon Mind or Pound for Pound? Yes, actually. That was actually on my mind last year. Like last year I was going to have a little co-host and not to get personal or anything, but this was during the time where I thought about quitting the channel because of stuff that happened. And I was like, well, maybe I could just get a little co-host for the channel. And then, I guess that idea just died out. And I was like, I'll just do it myself. So am I thinking about getting a co-host right now? Not really, but back then, yes. I would like, a co-host would be kind of cool for Rise Up Rundown. It'd be kind of cool if there were 2 Rise Up Rundown hosts on the channel, but maybe one day. But we'll see what happens. RC Plane Builder 2 asked, how do you feel about this draft class? So I'm gonna only preview a little bit of what I'm gonna say because I'm trying to save my overall grades and thoughts on this draft class for the next video. But I will preview and say that there wasn't really a pick that the Falcons made that I really disagree with. I felt like every player that we got was a good fit. I felt like every position we got made sense. The left guard in the second round, I'm assuming he's going to play left guard. I wasn't disagreeing with the pick. I was just kind of like surprised that we went guard that early. I was like, left guard is a need for the Falcons. I'm not denying that. I just was a little surprised on how early they got one. And then we go get a pass rusher and a corner, and those 2 defensive players should be pretty good options for us. And obviously Bijan Robinson is going to be a huge impact for us. So overall, I think it was a good draft, but I'll go over a little more of that in my video coming up. But yeah, I think it was a really good pick, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. How do you guys feel about this draft class? And Mark Jones asked, do you really like our first round pick? So I'll preview this a little bit. I in my reaction video said that it was I think if I remember correctly, I was like, I think it's a great pick, but I still would have gone defense. And that much has not changed. I still would have gone defense. Jalen Carter, I think Atlanta could have been a good fit for him to try and develop mentally and, physically and all that. But, and even Christian Gonzalez, he was surprisingly a big faller in the first round, and he was still available. So I'm not going to, suddenly act like I never said that if one of the 4 players on defense, Christian Gonzalez, Devin Witherspoon, Jalen Carter, and Tyree Wilson, if any of them were available at 8, and there were 2 of them, I would have taken them over Bijan Robinson. The Falcons had 2 of those defensive players I mentioned available, but they took Bijan. I'm not going to act like suddenly I never said that, because I still would have gone defense. However, I will say that Bijan Robinson, I think the draft pick is making a little more sense as time goes by. I don't want to make it seem like I didn't like the pick. I actually liked the pick. I just would have gone defense was really my only negative, but everything else is a positive. I mean, Bijan Robinson, you know this is going to work out. Arthur Smith is a great run designer. Bijan Robinson's like the best player in this whole entire draft. And he's going to help out Desmond Ridder. I just, it's going to work out. The Falcons, you know what else I kind of put together is like, I think the Falcons just they don't want to like, what's the word? Like, they know their goal is to make playoffs this year in 2023. And so they know that probably something that they could do right in this moment to get there is to improve their biggest strength, and that is running the football. They're like, okay, so we're in a weak NFC. The division is kind of up for anyone. We were very good at running the ball. This is probably something that can help us win the division in 2023. So why not improve it with the best player available? And I know you're thinking, well, we could have gone defense to help our defense in the long run. But the Falcons know their biggest strength right now, or at least one of their biggest strengths, is running the football. And they, I'm assuming, have a goal to make the playoffs this year. Why not get there this year by improving your biggest strength? And I'll talk a little more about that in my video, but they're basically kind of going, okay, we know our biggest strength right now probably is running the football. So let's just get Bijan Robinson to help improve it even more. And he can also play a little bit of wide receiver and a little bit of everything, really. So why not help Desmond Ridder get like elite help? But it was overall a good pick. I would have gone defense, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys with a video this Tuesday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern. Love and appreciate you all for the support, and as always, rise up.